Hi, guys. Can you believe it? This is episode 9 of the Abandoned Armoire Restoration Project. Today, we're going to assess the sides. As you know, we have the front face frame all glued up, ready to go. We have now the back face, including the slats, all glued up and ready to go. So we just need to join those two together with the two sides. So there's a good bit of damage on these. I'm going to walk around with my phone and take a look at it assembled, and then I'm probably going to tear it down and we can go more in depth into each piece and see what we need to do. So let's take a look. Okay, first of all, these two pieces, they've been used in the back project because they are edges for the back as well. So that's why they're not glued up, because I knew I was going to need them for the sides. So let's just start at the bottom. And by the way, that's the back of the sides. This will be the front of the sides. You can see where the hinges used to be attached. So anyway, let's go down to the bottom. The bevel on the side extends beyond the bottom. I don't know why, but we'll have to chop that off. This piece here has some pretty good damage on its end. Bottom looks good. All right, this edge. This edge right here will actually be attaching to the front frame. It was originally glued with just a couple screws. And honestly, whenever I tried to take it apart, these tear outs here, that's my fault. So we're going to have to correct that. The decorative top piece, let's just get those out of the way for right now. This is one of the better joints, but it's not as good as it could be. I'd like that to be a little bit tighter. And I think, once again, that's because the tenons just don't quite fit well. So, back to fixing that. This one really doesn't fit. And there's a massive gap right there. Again, another fix. Back down to the middle. Just not quite joining up right. A little bit of tear out right there. I'll have to figure out a solution for that without making it so difficult that we have to just reinvent the wheel. Again, just not quite snug. Major tear out. That's supposed to be a 90-degree. Major repair. Gonna have to fix. And it's pretty much goofed up all the way down. Again, at the bottom, the bevel goes beyond the bottom. That one's not terrible. And just that little gap everywhere. As for the panels themselves, they're in pretty good shape honestly, a little bit of a, I don't know what happened there, but not so bad. I sanded two of them. Well, actually, I sanded one, and my granddaughter Lily wanted to help, so I let her sand this one. Did a pretty good job. A little bit of crackage showing, but may not be bad. May not even have to fix. This is the worst lateral piece. I mean, it's bad. I'll probably completely recreate that one. So let's take a look at the back. Okay, looks like one of my repairs I didn't finish, but even if I had, there's a good, that's almost a quarter of an inch gap. Another gap. The back panel just needs a little bit of cleaning, a little sanding, a little TLC. Same for this lower panel. Pretty good shape. Big time gap. Big time gap. Seeing a pattern here? Hey, look, there's a staple that I forgot. Tear out and a big time gap. Take it back over here to the other side. And let's flip this one over. Every single joint here has a gap. But once again, the back of the panel, what this white stuff is, the back of the panels look pretty good. So, I think we have a tenon length issue again, just like we had on the front. So we have to address that. We have to keep both of these sides, this one and this one, the same width because, you know, we want our armoire to be square. I'm going to plane down all of these pieces down to that because that is what we planed for the back. It needs to be consistent. If I were to plane that down, I'd have to plane down all the other pieces of the back. Don't want to do that. Go ahead and sand all this up. Then it'll all be disassembled, and maybe we'll revisit and go from there. Here we go. Okay, this episode was a whole lot of basically just looking and talking and thinking through things. Well, after I finished that video, I sat down and really thought it out, and I've come to a conclusion that the sides come down to these, where are you? These bevels. I measured it. That's an 18-degree bevel, which matches the 18 degrees there on the side. And I can fix all of those gaps if I just sacrifice about 1/8 of an inch of the depth of the armoire, move those bevels back 1/8 of an inch, shave those little valleys down 1/8 of an inch, and that'll hide all of these tear outs and whatnot and make the sides nice and snug. To do that, I've come up with a custom jig, and using my bandsaw, I should be able to clean all these up. So that's what we're going to do next episode, and then we'll get the sides hopefully glued up. After that, we are gluing the armoire back together. Stick around. We'll see you next episode.